It's the motherfucking player
Player
haters.
haters.
Ooh, yeah.
Player haters.
What the heck is happening right now? It's Sunday, not Monday. What are we doing here? Well, if you guys are like me, you understand that baseball is not being played Sunday night. They wanted to go ahead and break into the All-Star break a little early. Give all them high dollar employees in the MLB a little break, break off. So we got no Sunday night baseball. So I figured I'd go ahead and get this one out of the way. Bear with me for just a little while there, people. I will try not to take up 30 minutes of your time on this Sunday evening, but either way, whenever you're watching it. But let's talk a little bit about baseball, shall we? This week, this was kind of, a well-balanced week, I guess. Not a lot of big blowouts except one from what I'm looking at, and it was a big one. And there's something a brewing here. And before I get done, I will remember to give us the current standings because they obviously haven't updated yet with our stat tracker. But let's get into it, shall we? Bench warmers and Mandalorians faced off against each other this week. This one was pretty close between the two gentlemen in some categories and in others, not so much. But if anything, this was one where Josh is starting to cement himself even thicker in the top 6, whereas Scott has been kind of falling as of late. But either way, both these gentlemen had a nice little balance between what they took and what they lost, meaning Scott's got an offense. I mean, it's a week-to-week thing where he is just getting some stupid numbers from some really uncharacteristic players like Ryan O'Hearn, Kazumo Okamoto, Cole Young. I mean, these are not players that were highly drafted and sought after. If anything, I believe at one point I might have actually had Ryan O'Hearn on my team. He did all of his damage really in one game, and it was against the Braves, where he drove in 10 of their 12 runs. He went 4 for 5, but only got 3. I mean, he got 3 home runs. It's a accolade in and of itself. But 3 runs only because nobody else was hitting him in. He was driving in everybody else. Then the next game, he went 1 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 6 on a doubleheader, and then 2 runs, 2 RBIs later. What is that? Today. Yeah, today. So, but again, this is a roster in what Scott has, and he's getting some really good offensive numbers week to week. And he's got a pretty decent pitching staff. Cam Schittler, Casey Mize, Freddie Peralta hasn't looked that great. He goes out and picks up Luis Castillo, Mitch Keller. We all know what Mitch Keller is. So, but anyways, Josh is also, still trying to find offense in some things. He's finding it Manny Machado. Fuck off. But just not a strong offensive output, but he did win the average in the OBP, and he dominated in several pitching categories, strikeouts, quality starts. He won just 2 more wins. But overall, this was a good matchup, and Josh takes it 7-5. Let's move on to the Tortured Baseball Department and Agents of Chaos. Jason is another one that has been kind of teetering a little bit here recently, but again, another strong offensive team, 12 home runs, 34 RBIs. I mean, he's getting some big numbers from Ben Rice. Randy Rosarina comes back. Kyle Schwarber. How about the home run derby? Like, I don't know, man. I'll read off the names in a minute, but two players from the same team. And I know the All-Star game is in Philly, so maybe that's why they did it. Just, I don't know. It doesn't move the needle for me. I got to read it. Let's read it. Home run derby participants. Here we go. So I know Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Jordan Walker, Ben Rice, Munetaka Morikami. I guess he's what? He's healthy? Is he back? I didn't see he come back. Wilson Contreras of the Boston Red Sox, Junior Caminero, and Jack Caglione. Feels like a couple of first timers in there. Yeah, he's been in a hamstring strain, rising star, Junior Caminero. Didn't he lose it? Yeah, he lost it last year to Cal Raleigh. Anyways, should be interesting. They switched the rules up too, but I'm just like, nah. I don't know. I don't know who I wanted there. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But, all in all, and I know a couple of podcasts ago I talked about the actual like lineups from the All-Star game that I was like, yeah, it doesn't really like just I don't know. Like it should be fun. Whatever. Whatever. Anywho, let's talk about the Jason and Brian. This was a close one, 6-5. Ended up going for Brian. Jason had a really good pitching, 2.86 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 4 quality starts. They tied in wins. It was the strikeouts by 10 for Brian. They got him that category and 2 more saves. I guess he had 2 from Dylan Lee, 1 from David Bednar, and 1 from Will Klein, who is no longer on his team. But yeah, Jason takes the cake on this one, 6-5. Brian is, again, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but he's slowly rising, looking to try to take somebody's spot in the top 6. Let's see who else we got. Oh, well, I guess we can just talk about all the other matchups. Let's talk about Shane and Ashton's. Ashton, not too bad. Not the ERA that these, below a 4, I guess, is pretty decent. But this is where the difference was made. And, Zach Wheeler turned in a stellar weekly performance. I believe he pitched twice this week. Yeah, he would have had to have 2 wins, 24 strikeouts. He is back, baby. 0.69 ERA. So, big numbers from him. Peyton Tolley turned in, I believe, a quality start today and maybe got the win today. I don't exactly know. Let's see. No, he did not turn in a quality start today. He only lasted 3 2/3 inning. But yeah, we did see that old Shane pulled a Shane and, did a little bit of streaming today. It's part of the rules, part of the game. It's what happens, but it wasn't enough to push him over the threshold. Seth Lugo, really, I don't really think that he would have been the one that I would have wanted to pick up. But, with the names that were out there, it was risky for a lot of players that were picked up. And Will Warren was on Ashton's team earlier this week. He dropped him. I picked him up today. And he ended up being the difference maker for me in at least keeping it a tie matchup between myself and Jesus. So Ashton takes the streaming Shane down 6-5. The other matchup that was myself and Jesus tied 6-6. This one was Shitty for me. Not offensive numbers. I put up all my offensive numbers last week against Walker. 9 home runs. Left a few home runs on the bench, but so did Jesus. Not really sure if it would have been the difference in actually turning over some actual points my way, but 5 of the 6 batting stats went to Jesus. I was able to grab a really good week in pitching. If it weren't for yesterday's performance by who did it? Who kind of screwed the pooch? Nick Lodolo and Ronaldo Lopez kind of poo-pooed my really good looking week. But I did have a nice little ERA, 1.62. And up until 2 days ago, I was below 1 on the ERA. But when I woke up this morning, I too had to pull a Shane because I saw 4 pitchers were on Jesus's roster, and I was like, oh dear Lord. Now, I did get a win from only a relief pitcher today. Actually, I got a win from Jacob Latz, and that was the difference maker in this one in making it a tie. But we were back and forth today, definitely, and he got the strikeouts that were needed, and I was able to walk away with just one more quality start, one more save plus hold. And I believe the quality start, no, it didn't come from Will Warren either. I didn't get a quality start from him. So this one was close. But he definitely took me down in the strikeouts, 63-54 with 4 pitchers today, and I was only up by 10, I think, to start today. So Jesus and I faced off, and we tied. And now that I think about it, did we tie in week 5? We sure did, Jesus. You little dog, you. Look at that. So that'll be interesting if we face off in the playoffs. How will that go? Walker, please educate me again. How do we go about that? How does that break down? Because that could very well be, that could be a thing. All right, moving on. So one big matchup. Let's talk about Ray. Okay, last week she shuts out Eric 10-0. This week she goes up against Nick, and Nick's not a team to bat your eyes at and be like, hey, but she beat the shit out of him, took every single offensive category and then some. Now it was close in the runs, not in the RBIs. She destroyed him in the home runs. She doubled the stolen bases. She almost got a point over the average, definitely 60 over the OBP. And she only faltered by 1 strikeout. One strikeout. And the ERA and the whip were pretty close, but he was able to get the whip by 0.01. That's how close it was. She could have taken him down completely, and he wouldn't have got any stats. Go Ray. She had a big week from James Wood, Yordan Alvarez. I mean, these outfielders for her are what is really just making a huge difference in her roster. And poor old Nick, man, I mean, you say the names out loud that's on his team, and you wonder how in the world is he not winning more, at least in batting. Freddie Freeman, Kyle Rowley, Fernando Tatis, Jazz Chisholm, Gunnar Anderson, Michael Ayers, Riley Green, Wyatt Langford's back healthy, just not those names really, but Wyatt Langford definitely. T.A. Oscar Hernandez is a shell of himself, but all right, 8 of the 9, players that's batting for him. He loses Connor Griffin, I believe, probably for the remainder of the season. Ray also deals with injury. Byron Buxton, Corey Seager, those two should probably lose paychecks for the time spent on the IL. Just saying. Pretty strong pitching on his team too. Yuri Perez. He's got Bubba Chandler, Shota Imanaga, Gavin Williams, Drew Rasmussen kind of pooched the bed for him. But yeah, I mean, he's got Bryce Miller. You just think, like, how is she doing it with some of the pitchers that she has? And she's got a good pitching staff. Logan Henderson, Justin Robleski, what's the other? Kate Cavalli, who's looking pretty good. Taj Bradley, wow, carried that team this week. So it's crazy. 10-2. Ray might be a problem for some of us up at the top. If after this All-Star break, she comes out flying with these numbers, holy crap-o-loli, watch out. Last but not least, let's talk about, I believe I dubbed this one the matchup of the week. I mean, I could look at my notes, but I don't know. Eric winning against Rally Monkeys, and I said it last week. Why is he number one? Now, Eric, unfortunately, will not have the tiebreaker because Chris destroyed him the last time they played 10-0. But in this one, it was definitely revenge. It could have, I think he left some stats, he said, if I read the chat correctly, on the bench. But they tied in home runs. But other than that, he took every single one of the batting categories. Now, again, looking at it, 33-32 is not really, but it's enough. 249-240, 0.33 to 0.331. I mean, this was razor thin. But Eric needed this win, especially after last week, going up against Ray. And very close in the strikeouts. Not the ERA he wants. No siree. And I'm really happy to see that my ERA was better than yours, Walker. So, again, this is now 2 weeks. Even though I didn't play you, I believe you've said your team is better than mine. But had we faced off against each other, again, you would have beat me in the strikeouts. But all the other pitching categories I probably would have taken you down on. I didn't actually look, but I think I had more save plus holds. I believe I had more wins. Maybe quality starts, we would have tied. Whatever, Walker, whatever. So, anywho, Eric needed this win. It's good to see that he took down the number one team, being dead last. And that brings me now to the standings that are right now, according to the stat tracker, which again, all games are done. They're finalized. So this, unless there's a stat correction somewhere out there that we don't know about, this is how our league is going to look tomorrow and the start of the All-Star week and coming out of the All-Star week. Myself will be number one. Rally Monkeys will be number 2. Tortured Baseball Apartment will be number 3, which is crazy to say because he actually has 99 wins and Walker has 96. But again, those ties just always favor Walker. Benchwarmers will be 4th. Troubleshooters will be 5th. And Mandalorians will be 6th. Now, these are the win totals. 94, 86, 44. 95, 86, 43. That's for Jason and Jesus. So they probably have, I can't see to scroll over, but I'm assuming that they are going to be tied for that place. But regardless, here's some names that are coming. Brian, he's got 89 wins. Shane's got 83. Ray now is in 9th with 87 wins, 96 losses, and 41 ties. Let me just put this in perspective. Jason has 41 ties and 84 losses. So if Ray starts to, again, turn things around for herself, that's going to be big. Now, Eric jumps out of dead last and into 10th place with an 80, 95, and 49 record. Now, again, Walker has 49 ties as well and 96 wins. So he's only 16 games away from, tying that winning record. And Ashton, 81, 99, and 44. Now, our worst record right now is Nick with 76, 102. He has the only triple digits of 102 losses, 46 ties. So I think I've been saying it. You're not out of it yet, but it's really getting close. And what are you going to do? What moves are you going to make? Are you even going to make any? Can you even make any to help your team? I don't know. But that was week 16. Now, I'm going to look ahead because I want to see, because I imagine, I can't remember, is this a long week? Let me see. So this is week 16. I face off against Shane. That's always fun. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no games. Let's see. Friday, no games. Saturday. So this is a long week because it's obviously saying that. I don't see any baseball. Like, do we not have any baseball on Saturday? Sunday, no baseball. So there's no baseball for this week. None. You know what I'm saying? No baseball. So this is literally a long week. So we come back Monday. I am not looking at the right thing, people. Sorry. Let me back the fuck up because there is games on Sunday and there is games on Saturday. Friday. Is there games? There is games on Friday. It's actually a doubleheader in Boston. Thursday, there is games. So we come back to baseball on Thursday. So it's a short little all-star week. It already started this week with a Futures game, but I believe we come back to a Mets-Philly matchup on Thursday the 16th. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Monday, I believe, is the home run derby, and the Tuesday will be the game. That everybody's off Wednesday. Does that make sense? God, it is just so hot over here. I used to have a fan, and we had company, and we moved it. Whatever. So let me get into Week 17's matchups real quick. Like, here we are. Myself and Shane will face off. I already mentioned that. Shane's looking for a win there. Week 6, we faced off. I beat him 8-3. Let me give those from real quick. Week 6, this week and week 6, week 6 and this week are the same matchups. I beat Shane 8-3. Josh lost to Ashton 6-4. Nick lost to Walker 7-4. Mandalorians beat Brian 10-2. Ray lost to Jason 7-5, and Eric won 8-1 over Jesus. So now we look ahead to this week, same matchups, and yeah, let's see, matchup of the week. I mean, I always like a good Walker Nick matchup, but Nick just doesn't participate. You know what? I'm going to give it to Ray and Jason, because she's on a tear as of late. And if she rips Jason a new one, I mean, we might be talking about Ray being back in the top 6. She did at one point. She has been up there before this season, and she could very well make a case if she, puts up numbers like she did against Jason. So I believe you still get technically for this matchup, you get 8 moves. That's right, because it's 2 different weeks. It's a long week. Am I correct in that? Because the process starts on a Monday, regardless. Correct me on that or not. Am I wrong? I'm waiting for a response. Y'all text me, let me know. I think I might be right, but I don't know. Do you get 8 moves or do you get just 4? I'm curious. This is 2 different weeks, but it's one matchup. I don't know. But yeah, let's give it to Ray and Jason. Let's look at that there. So yeah, I gave you guys the standings. I honestly don't remember a lot of what happened in baseball this week. Watched the UFC fight last night. Ugh, what a dud. I mean, you get all the way to the buildup of Ewan McGregor, and 27 seconds in, he's out. Folds his leg, probably tore his ACL. I don't know. I didn't look at the news. I don't know what he did. So, yeah, we're nearing the 30-minute mark. I know I said I wouldn't take up 30 minutes of you guys' time, but I did. So I apologize. Well, I haven't yet. Um, I was saving this. I've had a few moments where I almost mentioned it. There was a pattern. I wanted to mention Eric's matchup last. Just because, for those of you that do not know, we lost a family member of ours this week. It was Eric's sister. So therefore, it makes it my cousin. And I hadn't even realized until I put on this jersey that I'm wearing, which is Goldschmidt, that the number on the back is how old she was when she passed away Friday. So I lost a cousin. Ashton lost an aunt. Ray lost a friend. And Eric lost a sister. I really think the whole world lost somebody that was. She just always lit up the room. And I'm going to show you at the end. I had a choice. I asked Ray to send me a picture, and I'm going to put it at the end. And it just showcases her character. Cause she was just so fucking fun to be around. She was a goofy person. It's just, if anything, it's always a reminder. It is always a reminder. It goes like that. And you never know. One day, you just wake up, think it's a normal day, and then it ends up not being one. So, Tiffany, I'm glad I got to see you at Easter. I'm going to miss you talking about my wife's ass. And so is she, probably more so. But I love you. Thanks for always being a black sheep with me, because that's what we were. We talked about it. It's so funny. One of the fondest memories, or funnest, or whatever, is you had a birthday and nobody took you out for it. And I said I would. I don't mind sharing the story. We went out to 2 gay bars. Yeah. And the first one we went at towards the end of the time being there, I was getting, like, there were girls there that were mad that I was there because it was a lesbian band show or something. I don't know. The band's name was called Her, and it was 2 lesbian girls singing or whatever. And there were girls that were mad that I was a guy that was there. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm here with my cousin. And so we decided to leave, but you wanted to go to another bar. And before we went there, you had to pee. So you opened up the door to my vehicle and you squatted as if like opening the door was going to hide what you were doing. You're squatting, you're a girl. And you pissed right there in the parking lot. And then we went and to a gay bar, another gay bar. I don't even remember the name of it.
And she left your shoes in the back of your car.
She left my shoes
She
somewhere.
left her shoes in the back of your car.
Her
You had
shoes.
them there for years.
Yeah, I had them there for years. Anyways, our time is up, people. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this sport that I love. And there you go, Tiffany. Love you.